A warm welcome to all my dear children. Today we are going to learn about circulatory system. So in your lower standards you might have learnt about the organ systems, right? So there are many organ systems that work inside our body. For example, respiratory system, skeletal system and digestive system, right? So these organ system you might have learnt about the parts of it and functions of it, right? So in this class we are going to learn about circulatory system, right? So what is the circulatory system? You would have a doubt, what is this exactly, right? Yes, so circulatory system is the system that helps in circulating the blood to all the parts of our body. Why the blood has to go to all the parts of our body, ma'am? You might have a question, right? Yes, so the answer is all the parts of our body, how we need energy, how we need oxygen, the same way all the parts of our body has cells, right? So these cells need oxygen, nutrients and also the waste materials, everything should be circulated to all the parts of our body, right? So this circulatory system is doing this function, thereby with the help of the blood, with the blood carries all the nutrients, oxygen and thereby the heart is pumping, thereby the blood is circulated to all the parts of our body. So now I told you about blood, heart, right? So the parts that involve in the circulatory system are heart, blood vessels and blood, right? So what is this heart, blood vessels and blood? So heart is just a organ where it pumps the blood through the blood vessels, right? So how you have a water tank at the top of your terrace, right? So the water tank stores the water and it is supplying the water to your kitchen, bathroom, like that. The same way through the pipes, right? The same way the heart is pumping the blood through the blood vessels. The blood vessels are nothing but like a pipes, okay? So through the blood vessels, the blood is supplied to all the parts of our body, right? The same way again in turn all the parts of our body, again the blood, the deoxygenated blood, that is the oxygenless blood is taken from all the parts of the body and it is the heart is sending the blood to the lungs to add the oxygen, right? So this is the major function of the circulatory system, right? Now let us see in detail what are the parts and how it works, right? What is the function exactly? So here we can see, so in our body this is the circulatory system where we can see in the center of the chest the heart is present in a slightly tilted to the left side, okay. So from the heart you can see many blood vessels, right? So these are all the blood vessels. So the heart pumps the blood to all the parts of our body through this blood vessels. You can see a red color and blue color, right? So these are all the blood vessels, right? Okay. So now what the heart is supplying? The heart is supplying the blood. So this is the blood, right? So this blood carries the nutrients, oxygen to all the parts of our body. Now let us see in detail about the heart. So heart is a muscular chamber that is present in our chest region and this heart is a organ that is covered with a covering which is known as pericardium, right? So here the heart, this is the structure of the heart. So the heart is covered, each and every organ inside our body is covered with a covering, right? The same way the heart is covered with a covering which is known as pericardium. Pericardium, P-E-R-I-C-A-R-D-I-U-M. So this is the covering of the heart. So maybe in your 1 marks or maybe in your higher standards or when you write an entrance exam or something, they will ask a question. So what is the covering of the heart? What is the name of the covering of the heart? So you have to answer pericardium. So Pericardium, pericardium, right? Okay. So this heart is divided into 4 chambers. So in the upper part of the heart there are 2 chambers, and in the lower part of the heart there are 2 chambers. So totally there are 4 chambers. Now this upper part of the heart is known as auricles, which is also known as atria. Okay. So atrium, right, or singularly we can say atria, and in the lower chambers are called as ventricles. So the atrium receives the blood from all the parts of our body, and the blood is supplied to the ventricles, right. So the there are left side and right side, right. So the left side receives the oxygenated blood and the right side receives the deoxygenated blood, that is oxygenless blood. Okay. So the right atrium receives the oxygenated blood from all the parts of our body, and it is sent to the right ventricles, and from the right ventricles the deoxygenated blood is carried through the pulmonary artery, and the blood is sent to the lungs to add the oxygen, right. Again from the lungs the oxygenated blood is taken through a blood vessel which is known as pulmonary vein. So the pulmonary vein takes up the oxygenated blood from the lungs and it is sent into the left atrium, and from the left atrium the blood is taken to the left ventricles, and from the left ventricles you can see a vessel, blood vessel, which is known as aorta. So through the aorta the heart supplies the oxygenated blood to all the parts of our body. So this is the major function of the heart. So in detail, in the next class we will see in detail about what is the exact structure of the heart.